Hey guys, and welcome back to Fortnite, and today we are going to be checking out some huge bases here that I built in 50v50, and this one I built with some other random players on top of a big barn here. And this one was just super epic because I thought you couldn't really build on top of this particular barn until one of the players took the top panels off with their pickaxe and started placing floorboards there. And then next thing you know, suddenly we have this pretty awesome foundation going. And it's always great in 50v50 when you can get other players to kind of work with you. And this was a situation where I did get some other players to help with resources. I also had I had a lot of wood to start with. I often start these types of clips with, max wood. I'll try and collect it. It's pretty easy to collect resources in 50v50. So that's why it's also great for building these types of bases. And as you can see, we're already up like 5 levels right here on top of the barn. So that's like an additional several levels. And we have that cool little window there at the top. And several ramps for people to shoot off of. But I'm not done with this yet. And as you'll keep seeing, I sort of keep working on it as this goes along here. And finally adding some roof pieces on there. This is a particularly good one because a lot of these type of bases will get team killed by friendlies, but this particular one has such a solid foundation that there was almost no way they could really do it. Like, they would have had to have had like many rockets and grenade launchers or C4, it would have had to have been a very coordinated and persistent effort for them to actually take this one out, and I think maybe that's why no one bothered to actually do it. And we were winning pretty good by the end of this, so those types of matches also help in terms of not getting destroyed by the enemy either. But it is also fun to actually see these bases in combat, and this one does end up with a little bit of combat. Not as much as you might expect. It wasn't like fully assaulted, but as you'll see here in a bit, someone does actually sneak up on me, and I'm still building it. You may have thought I stopped after the circle closed in, but I'm still building here. Kind of like a speed build in Minecraft. I'm just trying to go and see how long I can keep going. And we've mostly got this match won, so I'm just having fun here. You can see I put more roof pieces on. And this is about as high as this whole thing goes here, but it's a really detailed base. I think the stairs actually went all the way up the base, which is pretty rare. I usually don't get that level of detail in there. Didn't have as many windows as I would have liked. Probably could have added more windows, but it's hard to go back down floors. Like, I always feel like I need to just keep building up and not go back to focus on other floors because, again, it is a speed thing. I only have a handful of minutes to put this whole thing together before the match ends, so I really have to build fast, and there isn't always time to do as much editing as I would like. So in the future, that's something I definitely like to improve on. But again, as you can see here, super awesome looking base. There's the entrance up there. It does have an entrance. Really solid foundation, hard to team kill, and many floors right there. And again, you can see built on top of that big, I think that's a barn. I don't know what else you'd call it. And yeah, I didn't even think of building a base up there until a teammate did, or started building one. So this next clip here, this is a pretty neat one just because my name for this particular base I built here is called the Brick Palace, but you can see it starts out as wood. This is a wooden base here that some teammates were already building, and I decided to build on top of it since that's one of the easier ways to sort of get teammates to cooperate, is to simply build on top of their base, because then you sort of force them to cooperate. So this base was really getting attacked quite a bit. It was really getting worn down here, and you can see I start to put in the brick. It was initially a wooden base, and I start to build the brick part, but a lot of it's still getting destroyed, and I had to waste a lot of resources trying to keep this thing up. But we do manage to, in fact, keep it up, and then I begin to work on expanding it as my teammates eventually kind of push out, as this was another match that I think we end up winning pretty easily here, but there is some combat that actually happens in the base here, as you'll see a little bit later. There's some shooting going on down there, some loot, but the base stays up. I managed to stay alive, and I continue to build this base up and up and up. It doesn't get very high, but this was a pretty interesting little design I came up with here. Most of the time, these are not like pre-planned designs I come up with. They're just kind of me freestyling it, and you know, I build something and I try to make it look cool, and that's about all there is to it. But there's so many, these type of videos I think are awesome because there's so many different places that you can like build bases in Fortnite, and they're going to be different like every single time. If you try to build one on top of a house, on top of a tree, on top of a mountain, you know, or in the sky or on the water, you can get so many different types of cool bases out of this. And there you can see the clips here of the brick palace. Not as impressive as the last fort was, but I was still happy that this one turned out to be an actual fort and didn't get destroyed. You can see there's actually some pretty cool stuff that was going on down here as well. They were building like a path through the air there as well. So here's one last clip that I have here for you guys. And this one, I built a mountaintop base. I almost want to call this a sky base because it almost is kind of a sky base, but it uses this mountain as kind of its foundation here. And my teammates were building down below, and I decided to go up and start building further up on top of this. And this was a pretty high up base here, really nice sniper spot up top here. And I decided to put down an entire bunch of floorboards up here and actually give this some space, and then we go up to the next level there. And I start putting down more floorboards up there and more walls too. So you probably noticed by this point, this video isn't as much about like the actual battle. It's more just about like these builds and like trying to build things on top of cool locations. And yeah, we're going up even another level here. I was running out of resources by this point, so this base did not reach its full potential, which is why I put it at the end. But I did get a little bit of help from a teammate there, helping to fill in that bottom left corner. And that was pretty much all the resources I had there. Got a nice little campfire going. But that was almost about the extent of what I felt like I could do. Really didn't have any resources left by that point, so just checking things out from the top. That's still really high location for a base to be at. Would be great if you had a sniper rifle to get some shots off from up there. And I really enjoy these types of videos. So leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought in the comments about this video and what other types of content I should create, if I should create more of these types of videos. Maybe subscribe if you're new to my channel for all kinds of Fortnite and especially Fortnite building content. And thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more videos.